Welcome to another episode of Knights and Shining Armor, a creation of Knights at the Nerd Table. You know, we got a lot of branding, a lot of names going on. This is a D&D story about the villains. There's a lot of heroes in the world worthy. I can't talk. Episode 2, already failing. A lot of great stories of heroes in the world, and they should be told and remembered. But this is a story about the villains. I've got 3 villains here in this another session here. I would love it if you guys could introduce yourselves, and then this is a spontaneous, so no prep. Name something bad that your character did, like mean, like evil, like a bad guy would do. Go ahead. Let's start with Mason.
Yeah. Once again, the handsomest.
Yep. 2 weeks in a row.
Sup? 2 weeks. Don't watch the VOD. Sup? My name's Mason. Once again, the handsomest. Glad to be here. I love all these guys that I'm playing with. Just want to get the good kindness out of the way. Because I will say I play the character Trixie, a blood hunter. And he has been known for hunting a lot of blood across the realm. One of the bad things that he has done, quote unquote, is Porter. Double check. I just want to double check. Are there like cruise liner type, like ferry, like from island to island type thing?
Sure.
Yeah, he was.
I like that. Writing that down right now.
He was informed that there was a en masse time of death coming, which will make more sense as you get to know the character more. And ended up just cutting a whole ferry in half and drowned about 45 people in one go. That was one of his greater moments because he was greatly rewarded for the numbers that he put in. And so he had a good time doing that. Once again, doesn't really understand or care about human emotions. But yeah, that's one of the things that Trixie has done that is bad. And once again, I love all these people.
So villainous.
Those the cruise liners that you speak of is actually, it's funny you mentioned that because a lot of them they travel on one of the 14 seas in this world.
Dude, we're doing so much world building.
Porter, you don't have to do anything actually. You just let us go and we'll do it.
The low-key inspiration. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you can contribute lots of things. And like I have said, if you contribute a hero that we use, any of your hero's backstory will be into the lore of the world we're building. I was like, this is either
canon,
really cool or just the best use of lazy DM energy I've ever. So
it's not lazy; it's efficient.
14 Cs, cruise liners. Maybe you'll take some.
We have 3 Cs, and the world has 14 Cs.
What a great. That earns you the second slot. Sorry, Jared. Go ahead. Introduce your character and something bad he did.
So your name? It's your boy Jared, your grandma's favorite. Just excited to be here. I am the voice actor and player of Ivar, the Relentless. He is a 8 foot tall Leonin. Oathbreaker warlock, and I am excited to be here. Something bad that Ivar has done. Ivar has stolen candy from a baby.
Oh my gosh.
Now let me break that down. Ivar, whilst traveling, he doesn't really frequent restaurants or inns, so he usually just attacks not ferries, but carriages, shipments of food.
Are you looking at the word caravan?
Caravan, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the word of the day, caravan. That's the healing word of the day. And so usually attacks caravans, and he attacked this caravan, and it was a caravan full of candy. And it was a caravan full of candy, and it was scheduled to go to an orphanage. So he stole candy from a lot of babies. And yeah.
Nice. Third person in this party, my homie Andrew. Andrew, introduce yourself, your character, and something bad he did one time.
Sup, I'm Jared and Mason's older brother.
What?
The Andrew's world building in the real world.
I guess I've been adopted by Andrew as a older brother.
Um,
All right, I'm the younger brother.
Porter's roommate from college.
That's facts. You put it in with the not fact, and that is a fact.
It just seems like a definite he Facebooked me from college and I had really nothing else going on, so I
I haven't
decided
talked
to
to
do
him in a
this.
while now.
The best lies are woven with truth.
Yes.
Oh,
Which, when you say that is my character in a nutshell, Goffrey.
That's so true.
wow! Way to just hop on someone else's intro for
Yeah. Real name, as Trill Rolder, but all my friends call me Goffrey. And basically, I am a dread pirate. I do a lot of bad stuff. One of my favorite bad things I ever did was I convinced a elephant buddy named Golemov to basically nuke an entire underwater city. But he got it
for a couple of
but he got
bucks.
just a gold, so it was worth it.
Not even platy.
Yeah. So yeah, I just like to have a good time. I love most things.
Awesome. So let's just do a little bit of recap from last episode. You guys kind of all came to in prison, and it was a good time. Good times were not had by all. Let's just put it that way. It seemed like at
We
first
showed up. We lived a worse like a terrible nightmare.
You lived a terrible
We
nightmare.
showed up to school with just in our underwear.
Yeah, but then you chose to pee in a bucket, and then it turns out there was a bathroom there. You just couldn't see it because the lights weren't on yet. That was on you. That was your.
You can't blame me. I was world building.
You're right. So, you awoke in this prison, and started to notice it wasn't so bad. Actually, a couple of comforts along the way. A fully made to order anything cafeteria. You met Chef Dixie, elderly spicy woman.
Got
you
verbally
also
harassed.
got verbally harassed by her. Some of you enjoyed it, so that's on your character's world
I
building.
verbally harassed.
You also met the big guy, Gruglug, very large looking orc who actually turned out to be a really nice guy until provoked due to some incidents and choices you made leading up to that. He got real upset, was about to throw hands when suddenly that seemed like the block boss entered, and it was actually none other than Andrew's or Captain Goffrey's former forced second compatriot, number 2, as he called him. Actual name unknown, because his name, he just started calling him 2, and he said, "I'm going to call you 2." And this guy, now fully chosen of thug and prison life, ascended or descended the stairs, completely decked out in tattoos, and gave Captain Goffrey a little wink on his way down to get food. And we will drop ourselves right in there. He is at the line getting food from Chef Dixie. And he doesn't say a word. She just reaches in, scooped out some fantastic looking poached eggs, and just 3 pieces of slightly crispy bacon and a steaming cup of coffee. So he takes his tray and turns, and then someone else takes it from him and begins walking it to that center table that has now been reset. Gruglud has calmed down. It has been clean. A placemat has been set out. Napkins and silverware are there. All of those things are prepared. He is on his way back to your table.
When Ivar smashed the tray onto Ruglug's head, did it splinter in any way?
You read my mind.
It did not. It stayed
Dang
intact.
it.
Dang it!
All right,
I
fine.
was like improvised dagger.
I was like, shank.
Mother rollers.
Oh man. And we're standing at this table that's been reset.
Yeah, you're kind of standing around. One might even say currently directly in the path of this individual.
I'm going to take a step to the side as he's approaching.
Yep, Andrew's the only one who recognized him. You two didn't know who he was.
Ivar's still holding the tray. He's waiting for the guy to swing, so he's not moving. He's just like holding the tray, ready to go to war.
Gruglug just turns and goes and finds another table and reluctantly sits down. And his little bird flutters and lands on his shoulder. The two other orcs, Frank and whatever the heck I named the other one.
Dorglug.
Yeah, him. Go and sit next to him as well.
I'm going to wait at this table for this guy to come sit down.
All right. He sits down and begins eating.
Same plan as before.
Is there? Do I notice any silverware from the ground?
Yeah,
From
a bunch of silverware. I mean, he was eating a steak, so he was cutting it with a steak knife and a fork. It's been cleared from the table, but there are still some things on the ground.
Dang it.
Can I look for a fork or a knife?
Absolutely.
Do I still have exhaustion?
You do.
Dang it. You hate to see like a natural 20 on one of them.
But what the other one is the question.
18.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, you look
Not
down.
bad. It was a 19 and a 20. You can't.
Down and you see a nice looking fork. That's a great looking fork right there at your feet.
I will reach down and scoop up some of the food that's on the floor, and then I will also grab the fork.
Do I notice Ivar doing this? Do I notice him picking up stuff?
Yeah, I would say even without a perception check, your passive is really good. Also, he's a giant cat bending over. So,
and everyone has cleared out this area. Like it's just us and the guy sitting at the table, right?
Correct.
Cool.
And for a moment, the person who brought his tray with him.
Yeah.
Seeing Ivar do this, I want to be like, "Oh, Ivar, you grabbed my fork. I knew I lost something. I knew I dropped something. Can I have my fork, buddy?"
You roll something really quick.
We don't want to disturb the new guest. I haven't eaten yet, and I dropped it in the commotion of Gruglug, and I saw you pick it up. I just would love if you.
Ivar didn't pick up any fork.
Anywho, gentlemen.
Ivar hungry. And Ivar sits down and almost is hidden I want to see if I can sleight of hand into my mane.
Go ahead. As you sit down, I'll say the table kind of bumps and this individual definitely pops up in the air for half a second and then just kind of lands. And then roll a sleight of hand for that. Keep in mind you're exhausted.
Oh, I know. That's 2 natural ones, baby.
Ooh.
So, if
Stabs himself.
If my audio only friends could bear with me a moment, imagine taking a fork and sticking it straight out, and then maybe just putting it in your beard if you had one, so it just kind of stays there and hangs with the handle straight out, just so obviously right there. Okay, but I will say that Ivar does not realize this. Actually, with 2 natural ones, he does not even realize that he's done that. As far as he knows, he is just perfectly hidden that fork, and everyone at the table, including this individual, can see it.
In this moment, I am assuming I see it too.
Oh yeah.
Can I grab it? Can I just say, "Oh, you must not have heard me, silly friend," and reach over and grab the fork?
Go ahead. What would be Ivar's response to this?
Ivar's not silly.
Would he attempt to stop the fork taking?
Look into Ivar's brain. Ivar only knows pain and violence. And somebody is entering his space.
So
that is not welcome. So Ivar is trying to decide whether to let this guy he's never met before take this fork from him, or to put it in this guy's neck.
As I'm reaching for the fork, can I say our table mate is he's a gentleman, Ivar. So please just give me my fork back and let me eat my mashed potatoes and fruit. And if you want, you can have my chocolate milk. I'll trade you it for my fork. Please.
Please make him roll persuasion.
Right, I'm gonna just so everyone who's listening knows, Ivar as well as Jared's eyebrows just went up.
Yeah. There is a visual reaction to milk.
Chocolate milk. He said, "Sorry, come again."
I so badly want to give this to you, as Jared, but please make him roll a persuasion check.
I will definitely make him roll a persuasion check. Yeah, and let's roll persuasion.
Persuasion. All right. 14.
Yeah, I'll say
That passes. I mean,
yeah, that definitely passes. So he persuades you effectively.
yeah. Ivar was just combing beard with fork, and then drops the fork in front of you.
And I'm just kidding. I know, buddy. I'm starving here. And I'm just gonna slide him my chocolate milk. And be like, it's a deal. And I'll set it in front of him.
Love it, love it.
So you, friend, I'm going to turn from this happening. I'm going to turn back to the table. You seem to hold quite a bit of command around here. I'm going to sit down at the table next to Ivar.
He shakes his head yes, as he eats.
My name is Theresias. I do not want to interrupt your meal. I just want to let you know, I very much so appreciate the command that you hold over the crowd. I was wondering how you became to hold that much power. And when you finish chewing, feel free to talk. Or if not, we'll just sit here and enjoy your presence.
He finishes that bite and swallows, and then kind of looks around and kind of checking to see if any of the guards are looking. And all he does is kind of give you like a little eyebrow raise, like, yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's his response.
Understood. I'm going to sit down at the table. My name is Theresias, I've said already. Very good to meet you. These here are my friends Ivar and Goffrey. We are new to the prison. We just learned that our clothes were under our beds. That's how new we are. And so it is very good to meet you. And I'm glad you enjoyed that. I was wondering what we need to know about this place, because you seem to know a lot about it, hold a lot of power, and we've not been here for long. So if you know things like when we're going to get food, how to maybe join one of these clubs that we've heard a few people talk about, perhaps maybe find a way into like the kitchen, maybe to the serving staff. Would you happen to know how to do that?
He kind of looks at you and thinks for a while, shakes his head yes, and then kind of looks around the room. He kind of spots someone off in the corner and points over to the corner where you see an old sort of looking human individual just kind of sitting like very slowly eating food, and just kind of points to that guy.
Thank you very much for your time.
I want to lean forward and just ask, what'd you do with all the gold?
He looks at you and he says, he takes his hand, puts it up to his lips, runs it across like a zipper, and then throws away an imaginary key.
And I'm just going to nod at him and sit back and be like, I knew I liked him. I'm going to continue to eat my fruit and get food into my body, which helps with situations.
Yeah.
Scarfing my mashed potatoes.
Oh, Dixie knows. Yeah.
Okay.
She remembers. Yep.
He's
That entire
scurvy.
time, the entire time, Ivar is just chugging that chocolate milk. He does like it's gone in a setting, like just
Oh
gloves
man,
it down.
my food's fully gone.
Mhm.
I gave it to the guy and then the table flipped. So, I am gonna stand up and walk
Okay.
on over to the older looking human guy.
All right. Anyone else joining?
I'll turn into the table. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait for them to finish eating. I know I have nothing to eat, but I'm not too worried about it. For reasons. As soon as you both are done eating, I'll say, not sure if either of you would like to join me. But I'm gonna go see what our new friend is saying that we need to do. With this guy because he doesn't seem to be able to communicate with us, which is totally fine. Let us know if you need any help with that. We are well. I am quite a problem solver, and these two seem to be able to hold their ground.
I look up and I say, I'm gonna take a minute or two and hang out with our new friend here.
Charm him away. And I will stand up, turn around. Iva?
He looks edible, and I get up and I look as I wipe the chocolate milk from my around my mouth, and then it's down my mane as well. Ivar's gonna look back and go, "Little Goffrey, who is Ivan?"
You're just pouring food.
He said, "Little Goffrey, who's Ivan?"
Yeah.
Are you talking to me or the little guy?
No, he's talking
You.
to you.
Oh,
I don't know
my
who this
apologies.
guy is.
I thought you just were calling him Little Goffrey. Sorry. I was gonna look at you and be like, "Well, that is your name, isn't it, friend?"
Ivar. And I'm gonna scratch my name into the table.
And as he
And it's very much so like a 2-year-old or like a 4-year-old learning to write their name for the first time, writing with his claw.
Porter, can I stealthily I want to turn to Ivar and be like, Ivar, Ivar, that's the name. And I want to reach out to shake his hand and be like, I'm so sorry I've called you Ivan for so long. But as I shake his hand, I want to hand him the fork.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll sleight of hand.
Was it?
Do I have to? Am I doing that too?
No, I think if he can just kind of get the handoff right, I think you'll be okay unless something tragic happens.
Is this a disadvantage or have I eaten and no longer exhausted?
I will say you guys feel a lot better. You don't have to do that with disadvantage.
So it's a dirty 20.
All right, I like it.
Can I slide it into his fur? I'm picturing Chewbacca, if I'm being honest. Can I just slide it into his... Okay.
There's wraps. You can slide it into the wrap.
Perfect. So I just want to... I'm just going to reach out and just be like... I'm so sorry I called you Ivan all these minutes we've known each other. And I apologize. And as I reach out to shake his hand, which hopefully he grabs my hand to shake it, I just want that fork to slide into the wrap of his...
Yeah, I love it. It slides right in. So no issues there.
Perfect. Ivar, feeling that happen, Ivar looks at you and just nods.
Love it.
And then I just want to make a motion to where your mustache would be and just kind of brush it. You probably don't realize that I'm telling you have chocolate milk all over your mustache, but I just want to make that motion to you. And then I'm going to
Thank you.
I'm going to turn and face my buddy.
Sweet. So we'll kind of split it here. So we'll say, as this happened, Mason, you make your way over to this individual at the table. He kind of sits there and sees you and just says, "Hey, Sonny, what's going on? What can I do you for? What do you need?"
Hello there.
little wink.
Our friend at the center table that everyone seems to fear has sent me over to you. We are needing just some information general about this place. We're brand new here. Once again, the story I told our friend over there. So new, we'd even realize our clothes were under our bed. So we were hoping that you could tell us maybe something about the rotation, how everything works around here. Maybe perhaps I've heard that there's a few clubs to join. We're hoping to maybe work in the kitchen staff on the serving crew. One of the things we are hoping to do.
Yes, lots of great stuff there. Lots of great ideas. You gotta go in there. What do you got?
Well, the first things first. It seems like, if I'm correct, magic does not work here.
Oh, I mean, to state the obvious, yes, I seem to have misspoken. What do you have for me?
Gotcha.
To
Well,
give you the things you need.
first of all,
I
I
give
totally
you-
understand and appreciate. Could I ask your name, friend?
Oh, they call me Snippy.
Snippy. Good to meet you, Snippy. I have here my big friend. His name is Ivar.
Big fella.
Ivar, do you happen to have anything for our friend Snippy here to give us information for?
Ivar looks at him and pulls out from one of the braids a human jaw and puts it on the table in front of him.
How the hell did you get that in here? All right, that's crazy. I accept. All right, so general information. He takes it and kind of tucks it away somewhere. General.
It's jawbone, my bad. I just said human jaw.
I'm entire
Oh my god.
still blood. Awesome. Yeah, okay, I see. Yes, sweet. So, general information. Boys, you are on the island of Redora. You have not gone through orientation yet, as I understand. Seems like they're scheduling that for word on the street is they're putting one together for maybe tomorrow or some sort late. So you haven't gotten the things. Yes, you're the things that made you special, if you know what I mean, are probably not going to work in here. I'll give you a little bit of a rundown, but I wouldn't want to spoil anything for the future. But basically, if you check your arms there, and he holds out his arm, and you can see on his forearm there is a small little scar. And you all check yours, and even though it hurt earlier, Goffrey, you didn't notice, but on your forearm is a scar of a tiny keyhole. Yeah. Basically, it's self-explanatory. The things that allowed you to do the things you've been doing are locked away with a deep, powerful magic. Okay, so the more to try to do them, the more it's gonna hurt. I see. So I would recommend backing off and playing it cool. This is on the good side of. If you're going to get thrown into prison, you better be in Legacy, because out here they truly believe everyone deserves a second chance. So you can get out of this prison pretty easily, sort of. I mean, they have their ways, but you can be, they call it rehabilitated, which in short, you join the army. You join the army and you fight the bad guys. Well, except you guys probably, that's why you're here. You were the bad guys, but some of us are just we're in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's a long process to do with that. Only one person has ever escaped in the history of the entire prison. So I highly, and then that was before they brought in all the extra magic stuff. So the lay of the land is you'll find actually to be quite almost annoyingly comfortable. Yes, say they give you lots of food. If you got a problem with your bed, they'll bring you a new mattress. If you like it lumpy or soft, you can even have pets if you're in pretty good standing. So the guards are all great. a couple of them have a bad day every now and again, but they're all just wonderful guys. Wonderful guys.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Who is this person that escaped?
Oh, he was around long, long ago. He doesn't have a name, but depending on who you believe, some say he made it out through like a shadow in the night, somehow wielding magic. Others say he actually just kind of snuck out, sort of in the dark below area, which is kind of a tough spot to get to. But
The dark below.
yeah, that's kind of the prison slang for it. I know a lot of prison slang. I've been here a while, you see. Yeah, so it's sort of down by where the laundry duty is, kind of in the same general area. So, but again, that was before the extra magic stuff that they brought in. So I don't know if that's possible now.
And
If I could offer you advice, if you don't intend on changing your ways, just keep to yourself and comfortably live out the rest of your days.
can I ask one final question, Skippy? And you've been so extraordinarily helpful, so I appreciate it greatly.
Oh, well, I haven't even given you my pitch yet, but go ahead, yes.
Who holds the key to the keyholes on our arms?
Oh, those are taken by the warden, kept very under lock and key. Wink, as it would be, very, very, very quickly moved off the island. Shortly after your orientation, they're moved off the island. No one really knows where they go after that. No one's told us. I've tried to get a couple, but they do seem to be quite impossible.
So it seems
You said the keys are moved off after orientation.
Typically, I don't think it's much of a specific pattern. It's more of like, I don't know, it's order of operations standard, I guess. More than likely, they haven't left yet, but they won't keep them there forever. If something were to happen to delay orientation or cancel orientation, heaven forbid, I'm sure they would want to get those out of here as quickly as possible, yeah.
well, I greatly appreciate it, Skippy. You said you had some sort of pitch for us.
Oh, yes. If anything you want, you want. Any of the things you need, I got all the things that you need. I can get it. You just got to know person, just give me, if you got you want, freshly baked bread. You get that from the kitchen. So stuff like that's not very helpful. But you want a, specific book or a trinket or a pet or something like that.
Mhm.
I can get it for you. I got my ways.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
What do you trade in, if I may ask?
Oh, interesting trinkets. This jawbone's interesting. I might try to carve this. I know a guy who likes to do some carvings. It's very therapeutic for him. Yes, so he will take something, especially. He's a very deep artist. He'll take things that resemble death and create something of new life. He's quite good. I think actually he might be headed for rehabilitation quite soon. I think he's well on his way. Yes, he's done a lot of things to earn that.
Skippy or Snippy, sorry. Who runs orientation?
Oh, that'd be the warden. Yes.
Got it.
Well, thank you very much. Was it Snippy or Skippy?
It was Snippy with an N.
Thank you. I very much so apologize. Snippy, I do appreciate all the information you've given us. I understand that you believe life to be beautiful, but there is actually quite a bit of beauty in death. But thank you for your time. We will certainly come to you if we
Snippy.
need something.
Snippy,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What?
I have a question about my clothes fitting.
Oh, yes, yeah. Standard prison clothes come a bit tight for you bigger fellas. If you want anything special or extra, you just come to Snippy. Hey, I know how to get things. I
Well,
can get hats,
I-
I can get gloves, I can get mittens, I can get coats. I can get all the things that you need.
I started off on the wrong foot with Bug.
Oh, you mean
Grug Bug.
Yeah,
Gr-
you did. It was
And-
really embarrassing. He is really
I would like
this guy, actually.
I would like to stay above board. So if I wanted to talk to the warden, where would I find him?
It wouldn't be a very good warden if you could just find him. he's running the show. You know, he's doing his thing. You'll probably meet him at orientation, and that's probably the only time you'll ever see him.
Understood. Thank you so much, Snippy. We look forward to seeing you around. What cell is yours so that we know where to come trade?
I'm at the top level. I'm in 314.
314. Lovely to know. Extraordinarily nice to meet you there, Snippy. And you will be sure to see us here soon.
Oh, fantastic. Pleasure doing business with you. Look forward to doing it again. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I will stand up from that table and pass priority.
Hey friends, I wanted to take a quick minute and talk about our good friends and now a sponsor of ours, a place called DeWall's Forge. If you love the art of handcrafted labors of love, you should definitely check them out. They make everything from dice trays featuring an ancient Viking blacksmithing technique to truly the most unique dragon mugs you have ever seen. And those are in limited quantity. Once they're gone, they will not be in stock for quite some time, so get yourself one today. These artists put their love of craftsmanship into everything that they do. I ordered a custom Bulbasaur succulent pot from them not too long ago. It's been on my desk ever since. It's one of my favorite things that I own. DeWall's Forge creates custom projects, restores old pieces, and makes beautiful works of art. Head on over to dewallsforge.etsy.com and get yourself a piece of history in the making. These guys are our friends. I know them personally, and they're truly fantastic people. So go over to their Etsy shop today. All right. Would anyone else like to do anything before we end scene, basically? So breakfast is almost over, is I guess what I'll say.
I would specifically like to pass my priority to Cool Kitten.
I didn't go with them, by the way. I have sat
Gotcha.
with.
That's right.
my buddy.
You're with two. So we'll cut to you and two, and he's just sitting there eating his food.
I just want to, as casual as I can be, so I'm making a big scene, but it's Goffrey. So I want to kind of cross my legs and lean back in my chair, put my hand on my knee, and just kind of rock a little bit in the chair. And I want to kind of then lean forward and be like, let me start over. How did you get like this?
Kind of, again, looks around to see if anyone is around, and he looks at you, and he actually just shrugs his shoulders and lifts his hands up, and his eyes look very, very scared for just like a moment.
I feel like if I taught you anything in our time together too, your responses are absolutely perfect. Speak only when necessary and overspeak at all times. I like it.
Trust only.
Oh, he
in
kind
the
of like
Force.
nods, and he claps twice. Clap, clap. And someone from the back of the room comes scurrying up with sort of like a piece of paper and like a writing utensil fantasy. So I guess it'd be kind of sort of a magical writing utensil, and he kind of just
A quill?
a quill, but like a magical quill that would need
Okay.
ink, and also isn't very sharp, pointy edge. No sharp, pointy edge. It's very stubby, almost as if it was.
They bring him a fantasy marker.
But it is
Yeah.
magical. Porter, we have to establish that this thing is magical.
It is of magical capabilities.
Okay.
Its magical capability is that it can write on paper.
Uh,
You tyrant.
as the guy approaches, can I like kind of pipe up and be like, "Oh, dude, you said your knife wasn't. Yeah, it was like a dull. Your steak knife was kind of dull. Buddy, friend of ours, can you bring him a second knife or another knife, a sharper one, maybe?"
the man that ran up with the magical color marker and parchment just kind of nods and like goes back to where the utensils are with it, and 2 begins to kind of draw. He draws a circle, arms, legs, 2 eyes, and a giant mouth. And then
I'm
over,
gonna need him roll dexterity to see how good this is.
it's literally terribly drawn. He draws like an X over the mouth and kind of shows it to you and kind of points at his.
You're sick.
He face palms and tries again. He like really circles his mouth and then just a big X over it.
Dude, just say it. I'm
Canonically, he's terrible at Pictionary.
The next attempt he tries to draw is a fist that faces you with a single finger in the middle in the air and tries to point it at you.
all right. 2, if you don't want to speak, you don't have to speak. But hear me when I say this. I will only remember your name if it's 2. I'm not going to call you 1. Whatever this idea is here that you want me to call you 1, I'm going to call you 2. But you don't have to talk. Okay, that's how I'm going to remember you. But with your obviously non-magical marker, can you at least maybe draw for me why people are serving you like the little servant boy who's bringing us the extra knife that you asked for? And I want to wink at him.
He kind of thinks for a minute and he kind of just starts looking at his new tattoos. And he just kind of gives like the gesture of, I mean, look at me. And that's kind of all he does. He also looks confused a little bit as he does this. You can tell from this that he looks like the pit boss. He clearly has no idea why he has achieved the power that he has, and also it's pretty obvious, in case you missed it, that he is unable to speak.
Yeah. So as he makes the motion, I just want to be like, all right. 2, hear me out. You leave the island, you get away from Pops. So you start to live a little. You get the tattoos, kind of go rogue. Totally understand. Did the same thing to my dad back in the day, minus the tattoos, just a couple more ships stolen. I totally get it. The silent thing makes you kind of give off the BA vibe. Like, I'm here for it. Help me help you by helping me understand, what do I have to do to get out of here?
He looks you.
And don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I will bring you with me. You're my favorite, remember?
He nods and he looks you square in the eye. And once again, raises his hand and his eyes are very scared, as if to say, I have no freaking idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like Porter gave us a cliffhanger at the end of the last episode, and it was just to get us into this next episode.
Weird. Yes, so
Just
wild.
and had no actual.
Perfect. All right. Does the buddy show back up with the extra knife?
Yes, he comes back in with the extra knife. And he just kind of holds it.
Can I take that? Can 2 take that knife from him? And then I will happily just reach across and grab both knives from 2.
Yep, he kind of looks at you after you take both knives, but does kind of give like a gesture of, oh, I think I know what you're doing. And he keeps the knives and he heads back over towards the stairs and he turns around and looks at you. And he takes a step up onto the stairs and both the knives disappear.
Oh, savage. Okay. Did 2 do that or the servant do that?
2 does that.
Okay. All right.
So he kind of like gets it. He kind of snaps his fingers and points at someone just sitting there who looks at him absolutely terrified that he's being pointed at, and 2 gestures for the guy's fork, and the guy immediately runs over and hands him his fork, and 2 does the same thing. He takes the fork, takes 1 step out of the cafeteria onto the steps, and the fork disappears.
Dang it.
Yeah.
This game is a tutorial.
Does 2 come back?
Yep, he just kind of goes and then kind of heads back over to his seat
Okay.
right in front of you.
2, I will follow your lead as you followed mine so daringly when we took that island over, which we then gave possession to your father. It made him a very rich man and the king of an island. I will now follow your lead in this. Who do we need to see? Like, what are the next steps?
He kind of looks down upon you mentioning his father. Fond memories of his dad growing up. The memory of you demanding he go with you away from his home, away from his family on the ship. Immediately getting thrown into combat where he was beaten and bruised. Some memory loss, ending up in this prison, and kind of like glares at you, but also looks very, very like sad and defeated, and he just kind of shrugs like,
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
And then it cries.
2, I'm going to get you out of here, buddy. I promise you that.
Can we walk back over to this table?
Yeah, you walk back
Yeah.
over to this table. As you approach, he quickly like brushes something out of his eye and then just tries to look so tough.
Alvar goes, too sad, snaps his neck. No, I'm kidding.
As the guys sit back down, I just want to quickly be like, 2 was just telling me how wonderful a place this is, and if you happen to lose silverware, you can't take it with you when you go. Anyways, how was your guys' time?
Well, Snippy over there was just telling us that, well, actually quite a bit. I'm going to try to keep my voice down. Can I look around? Is anyone watching us?
Oh, absolutely not. Everyone is minding their own darn business,
'Kay.
literally actively avoiding 2's table.
Cool. You seem to be familiarized with this too. Person, is he trustable, Goffrey?
2 was one of my favorite people in the entire world.
Okay, we'll take that. And
So
run
I
with it.
shouldn't kill him.
No, we like we like 2.
We have
What?
keyholes in our arm that are suppressing our magical capabilities. The prison warden is holding on to these keys. We have orientation tomorrow. The keys are not moved off the island until orientation. If the keys are moved, we will not ever have a chance to leave. I have a feeling. Another thing, there's an area called the Dark Below, which is near the laundry area. So if somehow after we get our keys and unlock our abilities, then perhaps we can get to the Dark Below and escape from there somehow. If you need anything at all, Snippy's willing to trade. He's in Sill 341. He's willing to trade things for other things that you can't normally get around here. So that's all the information we collected. I think it's going to be time here soon to move on from breakfast and probably find our way around. Basically, what we're going to need to do is within the next day prep, because the warden is the one holding the key and the warden is also the one that does orientation. That will be our one window to be able to take our keys from the warden to be able to unlock ourselves and get out of here. We need to take this day to prep, get whatever we can from Snippy, figure out using 2 things that we can do to be able to collect our things, because I'm sure they're here on the island. But I am going to say the first thing that we need to do is go get our clothes from under our bed.
Order, would I would have felt the burning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've like done 2 magical things. They've
Yep.
worked. I've just like been hurt.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wait,
What-
so spells actually will trigger still?
His bardic inspiration did trigger.
Okay.
It did hurt. And
Prestidigitation did like a little damage to me too.
yep. And prestidigitation failed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
But it did
Interesting.
damage to me. So it's like,
and
okay.
uh
I'm not gonna say anything then. I think I would be like, all right, let's move on. Sorry.
Good idea, because I was literally about to put an Eldritch Blast into 2 to see if it would work.
can certainly try, as they say.
2, Goffrey seems to trust you. I implicitly am just going to trust my cellmates because what better friends to have than the people who are going to sleep next to you? We need to work together to find. Can I ask, have you had your orientation yet?
He rolls up his sleeve. You can see a burn mark of a keyhole, and he nods.
So you've already had. So your key is off the island. Maybe, or not. That Snippy was saying the same thing. It's more of a wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. Okay, we will see what we can do. If we can get your key from the warden as well, we will try to get it. In return, we would love your help around here in terms of using your power over the people to be able to figure out who else is in this orientation tomorrow so that we can have the full power of everyone there behind us. Finding ways to I'm going to need some sort of weapon. I'm kind of useless without it. Besides, I'm minorly good at planning things. So
Ivar pulls out his fork and goes, "Here," and slides the fork to you.
Ivar, far too kind. You hold on to that, my friend.
If you insist. And Ivar puts it back into his sleeve.
That's going to disappear when we walk out of here. Anyways, 2, Goffrey, Ivar. Does this sound like a plan?
Yes.
2 puts his hand in the middle.
I'm gonna stare at his hand for a while and just.
2 takes it back immediately, and he moves on to the next thing. He stands up on the table.
Ivar puts the fork back into his sleeve because he's going to put a fork through Ivar to his hand.
He stands up on top of the table, and just kind of like looks out, and the murmuring quiets. Everyone turns and look at him, and he points to the 3 of you. He points back, one thumb at him, and it's an understanding that, hey, these 3 are with me. And then he trips a little, hopping down to the bench, and manages to catch himself onto the floor a little bit, and stumbles, stands up, brushes himself off, and then just like starts walking towards the stairs as the bell begins to ring 8 times.
And we will follow behind him, hopefully going back to our cell.
Yeah.
And I want to suit up. Is this their actual clothes?
These are not your actual clothes. These are very comfortable clothes.
Gotcha.
They're not itchy. They're not gross. They're not dirty. They're all clean. You go back up to you just make your way up the stairs. As you do, Jared, if you want to give me a perception check.
That's a unnatural 1.
All right. As far as you know, you still got your fork, which is pretty sweet.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah. So you guys walk up the stairs, and other inmates begin to do the same. You can see the cafeteria lines start to close up. People start taking care of dishes. Chef Dixie starts ordering people around. One of the things you did notice is there were other people in Chef Dixie's kitchen, so she wasn't the only one in there.
Okay.
Can I talk to Chef Dixie before I leave the kitchen? Or do
Yeah,
you just want me to move on?
If you want to try to make it like run back down there, go ahead.
I was thinking we make a battle plan and try to find a way to work in the kitchen here, like today or tomorrow for like lunch or dinner.
Yeah,
But you
I would.
you do you.
Okay,
Riz her up some more.
I just want to walk up to Dixie real quick, and I want to ask, ma'am, I'm sorry to bother. I know you're incredibly busy running this place, but I have to know. I have to know two things. First, if I ever get out of this place, what's a guy like me got to do to take a beautiful woman like you out?
Riz Lord.
Yeah, roll for Riz. No, just kidding.
That's it. Riz stands for charisma. So
she, yeah. Let's see what kind of roll this I want this to be. Go ahead and roll. I want you to roll an insight check.
Insight?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, I guess perception or insight. I know your perception is pretty stacked, but roll perception or insight.
None of these are charisma based, so you don't get the plus 10.
I don't get the plus 10 for these? Okay. Which one do you want me to roll, Port? I'll just roll that one, whichever one you choose.
Perception's fine.
Perception. Well, I have eaten food.
Yep. So it's not disadvantage.
Clutch.
We're gonna say
I freaking love you. 26.
okay.
What?
you rascal. So here's what we're gonna say. So after you are sleeping in the food,
What?
you guys can you are no longer
Let's go.
should. And so you can tell as she says this, she says, honey, all you gotta do is ask. But you can also tell that she's also all talk.
Yeah.
All flirtatious talk with that.
Same.
She's just having her own fun, but she does
Same.
kind of get serious for a little bit and say, listen, breakfast is over. You should probably get out of here before you get yourself into trouble.
Ask her how to work on her crew.
I totally understand. I'd be beside myself if I didn't say anything before I left. But I did also want to know that ladle thing that I'm sure has been handed down from generations of wonderful chefs like you. Is that what makes the food, or does the food just become the food? What's your secret? What is special about the ladle?
The ladle is, I don't know, they just gave it to me. I didn't do anything special to it. As far as I know, it just works in the kitchen. It's got that magical ability.
Okay.
Can I pop a divine sense?
I think you
Sure.
went back to the.
Our abilities are locked. Yeah,
Oh,
we went back.
abilities are locked? Never
We
mind.
went back to her room.
Never mind, we went to the
No,
room. Okay.
you're just gonna get
I
hurt
just
from
wanna see
it.
if there's
And I guess
Okay, I thought it was-
as I'm leaving, I just want to say, have you taken it out of this room, or you just only know it works here?
got that thing on me.
I mean, there's not really a point to take it out of the room. It's just for food, but I mean, every now and again I've tried, but the guards around here are actually pretty perceptive to know what's going on. I wouldn't risk what I got going here. I got a good thing going here. I work
Yeah.
in the kitchen.
I don't want to.
I
I
don't
don't want to
wanna
ruin
miss
that for you. Is there? I guess I had
Kitchen's
one.
one of the prime spots to work. So
Oh, are you hiring?
well, I guess that kind of depends. Around here, they say the punishment fits the crime. What'd you do to get in?
Well, if I'm honest with you, Dixie, I may have broken too many hearts, and I'm trying to get over that.
Riz Lord.
I'm trying to be fixed, and maybe it's because I have a broken heart of my own. and I'm trying to be better.
Yeah, that was incredibly vague. Listen, if you did stuff, killed stuff, stole stuff, there's a chance that you would be assigned to work some of that off in some sort of similar way.
Okay.
Killing people is a tricky one because you can't, kill people. That's bad. But, let me tell you how I got myself in here.
Breaks into musical song.
Dun, 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 dun.
Poor unfortunate souls. In here for killing my husband in a very particular way. And so now I work the line.
All right. You yourself are a heartbreaker. I knew I was drawn to you.
And I do now get your cute little behind out of here before the guards drag you away.
I just want to put my hands up, and as I step away, I just say, Can I hold your ladle if I never work in here?
She says, only if I can hold yours. And then
I'm calling HR right now.
From the top, from that tier 1 of the prison, you can hear, "Hey, breakfast is over. Keep it moving, please."
All right, and I'll just put my hands up and back away, and be like, I'll put my application in to maybe work here, and I'll turn.
I can put in a good word for you. I'll do what I can.
Don't forget my buddies, the big furry one and the pale one. Look like the
Not
life
really
got sucked out of him.
furries. The other one was kind of cute too.
Yeah.
Not into
All
fur.
right. Daisy, I love you, and I want to turn and run upstairs to my room to sell to get my clothes.
Sounds good. She heads back to the kitchen. You enter the cell where your companions are
Naked.
naked.
We're in the middle of changing.
Peeing in the towel bucket again.
I told him to stop. He will not. But it's fine, I guess.
I'll just kind of stumble in and be like, gentlemen, furry thing, we might have an opportunity to work here.
Perfect.
Midstream, Ivar turns around. Furry thing.
I was talking about him. Don't worry.
Look at all this hair.
Ivar stops peeing. Then turns around and continues peeing back in the bucket.
Two holds up his arms to review like very non-pubescent under like armpit hair. Like there's a few on each side. Like
Gentlemen,
me.
I believe we should make a plan. I think that we should take this next few hours to formulate something, come up with what we need to do. I think one of us needs to work in the kitchen. One of us needs to start working in the laundry area. And one of us needs to divide and conquer in terms of finding who's going to be in the class with us tomorrow. If need be, we need to find out who works in the kitchen in the laundry area and take them out so that we can fill their spots. Unless there are open spots, then let's try not to cause as much any chaos.
I'll kill Daisy.
Okay, well, I don't. That doesn't seem necessary. But if it comes to it, I do appreciate the offer there, Fred.
I don't like food. I'll work in the laundry.
Right. Okay. Well, I think I'm not exactly sure of the properties of this magical ladle, but it does seem like it can create food. I'm not sure. We should figure out if it can create other things that are. I'm assuming they're probably going to be non-magical, but if it can create things like weapons for us, or perhaps a boat for us to leave on, we should find what it can do. Map out what the dark below is in the laundry area. maybe if you want to take that, Ivar, Goffrey, if you want to take kitchen duty, and then perhaps Two and I can move around, find people in that are going to also be introduced tomorrow, and together we will find a way out of here.
I'm about it. I can do it.
I like dark places.
Two, what do you think?
He gives you a thumbs up, like a strong thumbs up.
Fantastic.
Suddenly, a loud bell rings out a single time, and all the prison doors close except for yours. You can hear them throughout the 3 layers of cells magically lock, similar to how yours did earlier. And you hear the sound of thick boots headed down the way. The sound of it gets closer with each step and seems to be accompanied by several others. Initially, you look and see through the doorway of your cell the same individual who brought Goffrey into the cell earlier that morning. And he is a very well-dressed man. You can now, all of you a little more conscientious see that he has very prestigious armor. It is very clean. He wears a nice cape that is set upon 2 golden tasseled pauldrons. He sword bound to his hip. Everything just shining very, very bright. Perfectly clean. You can see your face in the armor if you got close enough, if he let you close enough. And he turns and he says, "Oh, okay. All right. We're gonna change things up a little bit. So we actually just got a new prisoner, and we really don't want to wait. If we get more, orientation will be just so hard tomorrow. So we're moving you up to today. So you 3, come with me. We're gonna go get you orientated here and get you a lay of the land. So just follow in line and follow these guys." And behind him, you can see a guard sort of dragging by the shoulder a unconscious small creature. It almost looks like a rabbit, and he drags him along behind you. "Okay, so let's go get you orientated, and if I didn't say so already, welcome. Sorry for my a bit rudeness earlier. I'm a pretty nice guy. I want you to get to know me. I'm sorry if I manhandled you earlier. Got a lot going on right now at home. Home life. Crazy. So, anyways, let's get you all orientated with this little guy named Varric. All right, onward, friends." And he turns a perfect 90-degree turn and heads and follows the rabbit down.
So can I ask, who are you?
I am the Grand Warden Conrad. You can just call me Conrad if you like. First name basis sounds just fine to me. All right, off we go now. And this is where we will end this session. Knights in Shining Armor is a podcast brought to you by the Knights at the Nerd Table, but it would not be possible without you, the listener support. We also want to give a special thank you and shout out to our Patreon subscribers, Ben Vibon and Colin McMeekin. Now that list might be small for now, but these few brave souls have gotten early access to our episodes as well as exclusive content only available on our Patreon. We actually just finished recording a session featuring them, and you too could be called upon to collaborate in ways like that simply by heading on over to our Patreon page and subscribing at any tier. When you do that, you also get access to our Discord, which has tons of other things like Pokemon Go tournaments, TCG fun, and it's a great place to find others who might be playing the same games as you. Thanks again for listening, and stay tuned for next episode coming next month. We can't wait to see you at the table next time, but until then, good night, nerds.
I was like, is this going to turn into like a prison break friggin' D&D campaign?
Honestly, with how things were turning out, I was like, this guy could be fun. Like, it could be. We got a plan going. We're gonna get the magical ladle. We're gonna find what the dark below is.
Andrew's gonna get a lunch lady pregnant. It's gonna be great,
When I have to.